Good morning, everybody. We're here along the Sweet Water River, home of the Headless Man, Native American villages, and of course, skunk ape sightings. The stump jumper resides in these panhandle swamps. The rod bender has left his relics and structures for us to find. Of course, after Hurricane Michael, things over here have been really crazy. It's hard to decipher what is just natural disaster and what else is forest language. I have found awesome prehistoric archaic relics and modern day treasure. I love tubing and kayaking right in this stretch of the river. It is known for being some of the only white water in Florida. As we get away from the street, we move towards the hunting land. And there are some blinds and man-made huts out here in the forest. I'm here to leave some gifts and to check up on some things I've left in the past. There was also a rainstorm last night, so I know the mud could leave some evidence of the lively night. Right over in this area, we have heard tree knocks and even a tree being pushed over. I was with my neighbor and his son. I feel like the late night activity, something wanted us driven out. I know my brothers Damien, Long Island Bigfoot, and Tim Turner have the eagle eye to see what's in between the lines. And then knowledge and wisdom and just the vision is being spread so people know what to look for. There's a lot more than just snakes and large birds in the swamp. There's jaguar, fairies, gremlin, elementals, walking trees, werewolves, and of course, many variations of the swamp thing. This is a perfect spot to perch on the river. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw piles of oysters and other type of shells. Let's get down to the bank. See if we can find any footprints. I have my casting supplies back in the car, so if I come upon anything spectacular, we will get the hard evidence. Right here honestly does look like a footprint. See the heel starting and the toes And it looks like there's been some leaves that have dropped on it have since. It's very, very interesting. There's the big toe, all the way to the heel, pinky toe. There's a weird angle going right down to the water. It looks like there might be another heel print right there. So something might have been fishing right out of the water. You can see the footprint from this angle too, going right downward. Right across from Look and Tremble Rapids. And it's definitely not a shoe mark, because you could see the details just from my shoe. There is no details of anything. I'm gonna mark this spot on the trail, come back and cast this. I'm very excited. We're gonna cast this footprint. But first, we're gonna continue my round. And I'll be back. We are not far from the Ocheesee Pond and Torreya State Park, where Skunk Ape Mecca resides. Regionally, this is some of the most stained soil in the world. They say the Tennessee Bigfoots come down during the winter when it is really cold, and they reside here in the Panhandle, probably entering through caves, hiding out on cliff sides. Just heard a weird noise, kind of like a trunk closing, deep in the woods. This is the location where I found a couple awesome mason jars. I just heard that noise again. Now it sounded like a bull huffing. Strange stuff always happens when you make footprint discoveries. I'm really excited to mix up that plaster. You know, it's a good Sunday when you can go home with some hardware. The Chipola River has had giant alligator sightings, and also rhesus monkeys that have made it all the way to Alligator Point near Panama City. So they have traveled from Silver Springs for the jungle cruise all the way across the state. And their diseases are the most dangerous part of them. But when they round together, They can be dangerous. Kind of like the opening scene of Lost World, Jurassic Park. It's the Browns versus the Ravens today. We'll see if we can overcome the curse of Art Modell. The Browns became the Ravens, and the Browns became the Bengals. And luckily in 1999, the Browns came back. And the Steelers, they're down in the caves underground, working hard. Shout out to BF Bud. And the blanket that BF Bud gifted to me is still out here in the swamp. It must not be cold enough yet for the Sasquatch to pick it up. It seems the peanut butter has not been moved as well, or at least not opened. But that is not a bad thing. We do not expect 100% results from every gift. This is all just trial and error, experimentation, trying different variables, playing with the wind, hiking with the morning. I'm not sure if there's fishermen nearby that keep slamming a chest shut. But I do keep hearing a closing sound. That's the third time. Last night I linked up with Jack McClellan and we were just filming some shots that hopefully we can use in a short film or a documentary in the future. Really just testing out camera equipment, looking at angles. Here's the broken glass from last time. Now I got my book bag, so I'm gonna pack it up. Tristan, John, Cameron and I all found this. And this is where I left a slab of ribs. And of course, it did not last long here in the forest. There's a peanut butter wrapper up here. I had a peanut butter wrapper right up there in the tree. I see the I see a whole peanut butter jar up there. I see the wrapper right there, some of it. But where is the rest of the peanut butter, guys? I should probably keep this. The wrapper of the peanut butter. Of course, I should be wearing gloves and taking this, but even just holding it and getting it back might be the closest we get to an answer. Not sure what this is. I'm surprised I didn't notice that last time. Put this in the base of the tree. Right there. But where is the jar of peanut butter? That is the grand question. Because clearly something ripped the wrapper. But we just can't find it. Still a lot of spider webs from the trail to here, so I don't think it would have been a hiker hunter. Wow. Now we have to keep our eyes peeled, guys, for Jif peanut butter. The jar could be anywhere. And see, they must not have liked the natural peanut butter from the other stop, but they do like the creamy rich, which makes sense. Not many people do like the natural one. That's why I was gifting it to Sasquatch. I had no use for it. Wow. Well, that's magnificent. I'm not seeing it anywhere. I'm also not seeing much like irritation in the leaves, so whatever swooped in had some special skills. Well, since this is such a nice spot, we're gonna leave a few things out here. Of course, you guys know me. I'm the Satsuma guy. These Satsumas are going kind of bad, but I know the Sasquatch will not mind. They are known for eating kitty litter and frozen dong out of porta potties. So a little old Satsuma won't be no problem. I'm gonna put some bread up there too. Oh, excuse me. Some bread and Satsumas. Seedless oranges. From the capital of the world of Satsumas. They originally came from Asia, moved through the Louisiana ports, and they came right up here. And this is the perfect place to make them because it has to be a certain cold to get sweet and a certain warm to grow and thrive. Very, very cool. And then a couple more offerings. Get it right in there, wedge it in. There's a bunch of ants that are coming alive. Hopefully they enjoy it. The ants are already climbing all over the marbles. This is a nice little nest with an eye on the tree just watching us. And you guys always know, when there's pine cones, that is the sacred frequencies we're looking for. The Fibonacci spiral, the golden ratio, our brain, the true galaxies, the seashells, the pine cones, the answers. Load this glass up in my bag when we get back. I have a few more things to get rid of, but we will be back. Oh, I left my cell phone. I'm also recording on TikTok Live. I was just gonna grab my EMF detector. And I was thinking, I was like, why haven't I been using this the whole time? Oh yeah, because I've been filming with my phone as well. So there's people right now hanging out in our nesting spot. Kind of reminds me of Dogman Cams. I've been talking to Vault. Hopefully I'm gonna get a camera set up on my mom's property, where sadly, my baby cat, got ripped apart by some kind of wild animal. And a couple of our other animals went missing. And she's found bare footprints in the backyard and also a 3-toed print. Very strange. Found my phone. What's up, guys? Sorry, I forgot about you. I was halfway down the trail and I remembered I forgot my phone. 211 likes. Thank you very much. Let's get that up to 500 by the next stop. Here's some broken glass from the area that is ultra rare. I will be back to pick that up once my bag gets a little lighter. There are definitely very large deer that come by here. Here's one of the hunting paths. I see a boot footprint. Not sure if that is from Tristan or one of these hunters. We will continue to hug the river. I'm so pumped to get back to my car, mix up some plaster, and cast the footprint that I found. Right now I'm just scanning down here. Oh, I see some glass. I see some freaking glass. Let's get it. Today is a good day. Here's a hole. That might be a puckwudgie hut. Dang. That is quality. That is quality. Looks like a perfect Christmas gift from my mother. Scanning for more. Wow. Now that is dope. I love this place. It always provides. Oh, here's another bottle. That looks like a Worcestershire. That looks like a Worcestershire sauce, but it looks like it also could be a beer bottle that is a little squared off. Huh. Even if it's not treasure, it's picking up trash. Dang, there's a lot of trash over here. But I found some more glass. Oh yeah. Baby bottle, it seems. This jar's really cool. Wow. Dang. Looks like there must have been a little campsite here. Or some lazy drunks. always a good day when you can go home with something. Leave the place cleaner than you found it. Clean up the little relics. I have some cool little gifts to give for Christmas. Definitely have to cleanse them of their energy. So glad I chose to come out this morning. Possibility I might link up with Tristan this afternoon, so I figured why not. Here's a fence. I think this might divide us between this and private hunting land. I see some tires and some bent trees over there. It gets super thick. That might be the home of something, guys. Right back there. This kind of lines up with where we heard the tree knocks and the tree being pushed down. I'm seeing pine cones everywhere. There's some broken glass. Wow, how special. On this cool white toad, right by a spot. Oh, he's a fast little fella. Keep going, buddy. Yeah. Oh, what did you want to show me? What is this? What the heck? What the heck? That's the bottom of a shoe. Either to a young child or a woman. And my EMF detector's going off too. You guys heard it going off in my pocket. Look at that, 0.27. Whoa. Things are getting weird, guys. Things are getting weird. I was just leaving this gift in just pile of bread and satsumas because I found this plate and other, I don't know, hairspray type thing, and I'm just seeing glass all over the place. Right here. Whoa. Look at that bottle. That is crazy looking. This one looks like a big one. Right there. Wow. A lot of glass. Some old cans. This definitely must have been a campsite. Or someone was living here, homesteading for a minute. Old cups. Look at that. That looks crazy. Oh, shotgun shells. Wow. That just adds more to it. Some more glass. Dang, look at all this. That's an interesting one. All this glass, man. All this glass. I wonder how old this dates back to. Oh my gosh. This still has some in it. Listerine bottles. You guys ever seen glass Listerine bottles? Whoa. Wonder if it's still good. Even more glass right here. Ooh, that's rusty and sharp. And it's got a bunch of bones in it. What? Bunch of bones? Whoa. This is crazy. I'm gonna keep investigating, guys. Hey guys, I'm loading up all this glass and I see this ladybug perched right on my bag. I was watching Gemma Jade last night on the Late Show, Spaced Out Radio, and she said that fairies like to appear as ladybugs. What crazy vibes right now. I know that they're near because this is sacred territory. And we keep finding all these old relics of the archaic times. And you gotta think it's stirring up the vibes. All right, we found this footprint going into the water. We're gonna try casting it. I'm super excited. One last time for the camera. It is right there. There's the right foot. The big toe is on that side, going that way. The heel is right here, stepping downward. It is going to be a funny shaped cast, but that's what I'm all about, you know? Down here in the Florida swamps, nothing's perfect, but it's monumental. I know that. Wish I had some hairspray, spray the area. Well, what can you do? I lost my plastic stirrer, probably at Mayaca. So I'm gonna use a stick. That's all you need. It's like mixing up a milkshake. It's awesome. Reminds me of creatine. That's what it is. Some of the leaves might be in it. Some of the leaves that fell after will just be after. Looks like it's going to be a weird shape. But like I said before, that is fine. Add a little river water to it. I just want to make sure I get the heel pretty strong, because I've seen on some that the heel will get weak if it's at a weird angle. It'll break off. Just don't want that to happen. Casting a footprint down here in the Florida swamp. All right. Now we'll let it harden up. I'm really happy my peanut festival cup finally came in handy. Make sure I don't lose my keys out here. There we go. It's at a downward angle and then it flattens out right at the bottom. So I'm just interested to see how it turns out. Should be really cool. Sadly, a lot of it puddled up right there because it was a downward slope. But I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a great morning. Found a bunch of stuff. Gonna run back now and grab some of that glass. Not sure what the heck that is. I will be back this evening for the footprint. It was still a little soft after 25 minutes of checking up on it. It was a wet ground storm last night, so it all makes sense. Very cool. beautiful red, yellow, orange, and black. What a beautiful creature. Little buddy, I'm not gonna bother you. I'm not gonna bother you. Good to see you. Oh, that is a perfect start to this morning. Didn't even see that little fella. Going to see if any of the glass is still there. Of course, it should be. I brought a bag this time to get the rest. It was a bad storm last night, so the ground is damp. That's perfect for footprints early in the morning. As we get further into the wilderness, you see more and more of the destruction of the hurricane. But have these ancient people maneuvered and manipulated the torn jungle and swamp? It's a very weird smell in the air right now. It smells like urine. Now it's a little bit fresher, so it must have just been right there. There must have been a bobcat or a panther last night marking its territory. I love seeing cursive letters in the branches. They really speak to me. It reminds me of a place at Ohio University, up Bong Hill, near the lunatic asylum. The ridges. But it's a wall filled with tons of letters and numbers. And when you look at it long enough, it starts to spell things out. After that close serpent encounter, I've already found myself walking a little slower and thinking each step through. I'm already wishing I had my boots on, but that is okay. Oh yeah. I lose my hat all the time on beanies. It just comes off. Oh yeah, some glass. This is new glass. Oh. Oh, this is a big bottle. Oh yeah. Look at that. That is special. Very cool. I love foraging, bottle hunting, looking for ginseng, mushrooms, berries. But you gotta try lightly. This looks like it could be a little mound right there. There are caves below our feet. And relics all over, dating back to prehistoric times. But also some more modern ones and everything in between. Put this right on there. It's pretty crazy. The other night, very cool. Something. I think it's a mushroom. It's a mushroom or a ball. Oh man, I think this is an old ball. That's very cool. And as we know from Pine Island research, Sasquatch does like to play with balls. Was this left back by a camper or a hunter? Or is this a Sasquatch fort? There's a metal fence propped up. Bunch of metal everywhere. Nonetheless, this is an interesting spot. But it seems like it all hollows in right here. Definitely could be used as hunters. Ancient and modern. But this fence, pretty weird. The placement of it all. It's thick as heck to get into. Grabbing the bag of glass. It keeps making this crazy ring when they rub up against each other. Here's some standing fence over here. And the tire. We've seen that spot before. Those turned over trees can be a perfect cover when they're at certain angles. And then you build around those and it just blends in naturally. Whoa. Cool little spot. This thing's wild looking. You can live underneath inside there. Definitely. I'm sure some things have spent the night. Wow. Very, very unique spot. It's very cool. So that means I'm gonna leave it a little gift here. Wow, very cool. So I have some satsumas and some shake and a bunch of cannabis stems, which are highly beneficial for medicinal purposes and recreational. You can turn it into tea, you can rub them on your gums. I'm sure there's many different other purposes. I sense movement over here. It'll be very interesting to see if our stuff disappears. Gifts are set and the spot is marked. There's a bunch of tires and stuff back there. I will definitely return, but this bottle, wow, was waiting here. Put it in with the other glass. You can see the cars in the distance, or hear the cars in the distance, I mean. cone is awesome. Reminds me of back home. But this little part of the trail reminds me of Mayaca. Tim T says to always look where the trail ribbons are ripped off the tree. That's where we found some footprints in the green swamp. Trail gets really unique. That's a beautiful view right there. Right across the road is Look and Tremble. That is a famous spot known for the headless ghost and also hidden treasure. There was 3 burglars that ended up all killing each other back here after a big score. And as the fire went away, nature overgrew, and it's somewhere back here. Plus, it's some of the only white water in the whole state. Check out this awesome bridge. That's super cool. Call that one 1 penny, because the one 2 penny over at Ecofana Creek, that's something to behold. But the one at the Great Falls in Greenville, that's even more special. That bird just flew at me. That was kind of strange. That water's moving. Something's been pooping right here. Looks like a raccoon or a rabbit. But it makes sense. It's a perfect little perched up spot. There's a huge bird. More pine cones. More and more interesting spots right after one another. The Florida Trail is truly amazing. Many branches, as you can see. More and more I traverse back here, I see how all the trails connect. Another very cool spot. Oh, that was a lot more slippery than I thought. That hurt. Oh, at least I didn't break my leg. I was trying to get down there. I still will, but I can't use that log. Dang, that was madness. We're down on the beach. Nice little spot. Right across from where I like to hang out. Looking Trumbull Rapids is right there. It claims many victims over the years. As we could see, there's a raft up here. There are caves below my feet. So I'm just very weary of a sinkhole. And then there's giant alligators in the water. So I'm also ready for that. But yes, there's a raft right there that the rapids have taken. But this is a really cool little overpass, and I'm searching for hair, arrowheads, shark teeth, footprints, fossils, gator teeth, gator slides. Even little monkeys could come and hang out right on this little perch. There have been rhesus monkeys spotted all the way to Alligator Point. They came from Silver Springs, from the original Jungle Cruise and the Tarzan movies, near Ocala. What a monumental spot. I think that calls for one more gift. This gift is special, but it also is kind of disgusting. It's kitty litter. It is said that the skunk ape loves kitty litter, and there's a mixture of urine and feces in this kitty litter, and I'm going to leave it right on this little perch, and we will see if something gets into it. Sorry if this is disgusting to some people, but it is part of research. The skunk ape is known to eat out of the garbage dead carcasses on the side of the road. and also frozen dong. There it is, guys. We're gonna see if anything gets into it. The cool thing is, we'll be able to inspect it from across the river and here again. I gotta bag up this bag so it doesn't stink up my stuff on the way back. But it is such a peaceful morning here along the Chipola River. Translates to sweet water. And this truly is sweet water. But there's been a lot of flooding recently, so the water is very, very high. Most of the time it is shallow and swift right there in the rapids. You guys can check those out online. Look and Tremble Rapids. Just gonna pack up, make everything right. It's been a good morning. That it has. Right down this hill, and there's this distinct line. Not sure if it's from equipment, maybe a huge branch being ripped up that was indented into the ground, or maybe some type of ground glyph. It does go right up there, right at this little mouth into the river. That's pretty cool. How it's leaning right there in between. Step over. Probably a little bit of electricity. More sticks just pointing that way. Where is the water? It is pure serenity out here. That is one definite. Saw Spider-Man with Jack, Tristan, Ethan, David. He's the one who played the Void Cat in the movie. Miranda, Teresa, who she was in Lost and Found. So a bunch of cool cinema film people. Got to see one of the most revolutionary movies. And I'm not all about the Marvel craze and stuff, but the way they did it was very special. I'm seeing a bunch marks down here, but right there you can see the claw marks on the top, so I am thinking this is more dog than panther bobcat. there. I don't know, they look pretty interesting. They don't look like your typical dog track. That's for dang sure. There's some coon tracks. It could have been like a monster coon. Like a Zilla coon. So many awesome little banks to this river. Get up these steep banks with one hand. I need a camera crew. Got 2 cameras going at one time, broadcasting to hundreds of people. Of course, there is like the chest thing, but like to, you know, show the camera around, and I wouldn't be able to move my chest everywhere and anywhere. Guess there's hundreds of those bottle camps back here. There's definitely a disturbance right in that area. Another little trackway down to the river. Broken wood. Little perch spot, twisted tree right there. Perfect little sanctuary for the skunk ape, for the cabbage man, for the wild man. That's a perfect little spot to get up under too. Lots of spider webs, that's for sure. Check out this awesome mushroom. Oh my gosh. Ow, something just stabbed me in the back of my leg, or stung me in the back of my leg. I don't see any snakes, so. Can't wait to take my kayak down there and explore those banks. Here's a rope swing right here. Wow, very cool. So this spot used to be a little poppin'. I'm sure, you know, when you take the rafts and your boats, it still can be. That is awesome. What a perfect spot. Oh yeah, hug the tree. This is a perfect little dwelling. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw some piles of oyster shells. But there's enough mushrooms out here to feed you if you're hungry. This is an oasis. Sometimes you just gotta take it in, man. Came all the way from Ohio just to see this. Just to feel it. What a cool, magical spot. Oh yeah, parkour. My butt just fell in there. I was checking if it was a fire ant hill. Whew. What a good morning. Got my heart rate up here in the panhandle of Florida. Not far from Ocheesee Pond. And where Stacy Brown got the skunk ape footage at Terraria State Park. Some more poop. Keeping my eyes peeled for king snake, coral snake, rattlesnake, cottonmouth, copperhead, python. That looks really cool. Could have been an old nest or something. Thought I saw an egg. It was just a leaf. Here's a bunch of pine cones. I love pine cones. About to open up a P.O. box for 2022. You guys could send me gifts, pine cones, postcards, gift cards, research tools, camera gear, Christmas cards, birthday cards, Easter bunny, memes. Dang, look at this pine cone. It's like disintegrating in my hand, but we've seen a variation of sizes today. Shout out to the people out there that take care of trails. You're doing important work. Oh! Some kind of snake just hissed at me. Where's that? I'm not seeing it. That was a weird sound. That was a weird sound. Love listening to Bigfoot Odyssey, Art Bell, David Paulides, How to Hunt, Dixie Cryptid, Leslie from Cryptids Canada, Nance from Buckeye Bigfoot, Saroy Bigfoot. Really enjoy watching Long Island Bigfoot, his journeys. Tim T and all of them in the Mid-Florida team. Hope you guys all been tuning in to Gypsy Road. He's got that new breaking news show. And recently he covered Squatch in South Florida, Nana Boss, and the rest of us finding footprints and hair in Mayaca. It was really cool to see what it looked like under a microscope. It's all in the signs, guys. A lot of people hang out across the river at Look and Trumbull to smoke, drink, meet up, hook up. So if you could camouflage yourself over here, you're in for something real special. If you're called a watcher. Tons of mushroom on that tree. Very cool little tunnel of branches. When palms fall, they look like roots, and they all just become the ground again. I think the same thing happened when Fee, Fi, Fo, Fum, the giants went down. A little hole right there. I'm not sure if that's just a little impression or it's a sinkhole. Can't wait to explore more of these trails. Very narrow trees. Reminds me of Chronicles of Narnia. The weeping willows swallowing you up. It's literally like a fairy tale spell book coming to life. Maleficent. I'll remember this spot when I got my boots. Not to sound like a coward, but I know I'll be back. There's a nice little trail. It's really interesting to see these mushrooms that have been eaten up and dispersed. You can see some red in there. And there's more right here, but this is where it's attached to, so that's where it came from. But that was eaten off. There's some right here too. Very cool. Such a magical wonderland. And here in Florida, you don't have to get far off the streets. As you guys know, there are many skunk ape stories at rest areas. They love to watch people. They're very curious. I love seeing that. There are multiple directions. Now I got the hiccups. I'm getting back to the spot that I left my glass. It's always a good day when you can go home with some relics, some footage, but the healing in the forest does so much more. You can see something's been climbing up here using this ridge. We will show the gifting area one more time since this spot is so cool. There it is, guys. If you're ever stranded for the night, you can stay in there. Can't wait to search that little ditch for lost relics as well. Hey buddy. So I see this guy and I'm amused. And then I'm back to my friend from before. The red, white, yellow, orange beast. What a magnificent. The riverways are the main highway system of these creatures. And the power lines are a quick shortcut for them to cut through woods and heavily dense areas. That vine right there is magnificent. How it wraps the tree. I thought it was a ginormous snake at first. There's definitely many people that camp out back here over the years. And seeing these oyster shells and the clams, Four Locos, glass bottles, old Gatorade, porcelain, right under this crazy structure of fallen trees. You can see it's a perfect deterrent of the rain, because it is raining right now and I'm staying pretty dry. The way the forest is manipulated, is truly magnificent. Seeing these pits of debris. But one man's trash is another man's treasure. Cannot wait to return with boxes and bags so I can pick up all this glass and gift it out to people. The weather is starting to go sideways, but we will keep pushing on. More and more glass. I found 2 glass Gatorade bottles, and those are keepers. Those are on my back, in my bag. One is for me, one is for my dad for Christmas. Mysteries in every direction, but cover and more stories as well. Seems like some of these places might be booby-trapped or rigged. I know the structure over there is heavily watched and guarded. There is heavy disregard. But I will uncover all that I can. Not far from here, the Ocheesee Pond Wild Man was captured and sent to the state capitol. The governor said, no way. Sent him back to the Chattahoochee Hospital, where he was experimented on, filed away, looked at, persecuted for 3 years. Supposedly they buried him with a bunch of Native Americans. And they built a building on top of where his grave is. I've been exploring the grounds recently, looking for the unmarked. But there are thousands of skeletons in that area. Some believe he's still alive and deep under the world. And others can confirm that his descendants are still lurking those same waters. And others have told me about Native American mummies and other strange anomalies that are pulling me more and more day by day. The Panhandle is very diverse. It gets many creatures from the north, the Georgia, Tennessee mountains. And then also what lingers from the Everglades in Central Florida along the rivers, like the rhesus monkey, iguanas, and other invasive species. You can hear weird noises in the distance. I cannot tell if they're sirens or wailing women or airplanes in the sky, or just tricks in my mind. But these waters, they hold many secrets. Many shipwrecks hold below. There are giant gators, shark, and other Gulf creatures. I'm hearing footsteps as the rain piles in. Thunder in the distance. It's the lightning crashing off the firmament. What's going on, guys? It's a chaotic day in Marianna. One of the guys escaped from Sunland. I guess he's one of the more violent people in the facility. So they have the high school on lockdown, and they gave all of our local businesses a warning. Keep an eye out. Just got out of Spider-Man Far From Home, and it was revolutionary, man. Multiverses, different Spider-Mans, the Green Goblin, reptilians, giant Sandman. I was crying. It was emotional, man. I went with Tristan, Ethan, Jack, David, Miranda, Teresa, a bunch of legends, man. Can't wait to see all of us in a movie together very soon. Beware the void cat, but Spider-Man's watching.
rush of the unguided and non-believers fuel this void.
What's up, guys? It's Connor. I'm with my buddy Jared, who is a good friend of Tommy, and any friend of Tommy is a friend of mine. I heard you had a Sasquatch encounter, man. What's up?
Yes, I have. In fact, it was actually a couple years ago. Not anything recent, but a few years ago. I was a little thing. I lived in Bristol at the time, and me and my biological father, as well as my two brothers, we were obsessed with the show Finding Bigfoot. Ironically, that I say that. But anyways, we decided to go around dressed in all camo. Took our we were little at the time, so we had BB guns. Our dad had a full-blown rifle and a pistol. So we went out in our part of the woods, and what we did was we went and tried to find a Bigfoot. Sure enough, we got to some point where usually our horses would be. Our horses were just like laying down, sleeping. We heard some rustling in like the bushes that were beside the horses, and sure enough, we saw a Sasquatch. It was about, I'm like right here. It was right here to me. It was about maybe a head and a half taller than me, and it just it kept like moving around, just looking at our horses, like watching them sleep, like it was hungry or something. Can't say I didn't know if it wanted to eat them or if it was just fascinated by them, but it was just watching them sleep and just like. Our dad, of course, he tried to shoot at it. It just went like it was confused. So he was a little bit of a, like I like to brag around, like joke around, say he was a little slothy boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. About the third time our dad shot into the forest, it got alerted. It just made like a little like grunt sound. Got up and it just walked the other way, and we tried to follow it. By the time we got over there, he was gone.
Wow, man, that sounds crazy. It's
Yeah.
definitely a little risky shooting at the Sasquatch, but I understand your dad had to protect his family and kin.
Well, I don't think it was more of the protecting the family thing. It was just like he likes to try and trigger things, and that's what he was trying to do. He was just trying to do what he does best.
Well, he better be careful, bro, because I've heard a lot of those beasts over in Bristol and the Chattahoochee area. Yeah. They'll flatten us even with an arsenal.
Yeah, I even told him, Dad, put it up, and I'm just like, are you crazy? and he's just like, don't worry about it. I'm like, didn't you not see what these things can do with deers and how they do what they do to deers before they eat deers? What's saying they won't do that with humans? He's like, calm down, boom, and I'm just like, we're gone, we're all dead.
Well, that's fascinating, man. Thank you so much for the story, and it's crazy the stuff you hear when you spread your wings, man. I definitely appreciate you spreading your truth.
All right,
thanks, dude.